that doesn't have boundaries around his life, is like a city without walls. The enemies can invade you anytime. Where do you keep gold? Where do you keep dollars? Where do you keep precious things? You make sure that they are guarded with as much security, boundaries, walls as much as possible. You don't value what you receive from God. You make sure that your money is safe. You make sure before they open your phone, they will use pattern. It's not enough. They use fingerprint. It's not enough. They now add code. Only you. Only one of your phone. That's how much you are willing to protect what is inside the phone. But you just allowed your your holiness, your work with God, you just allowed it. Anybody can breeze in. That's a man without boundaries. Satan can steal your precious things. Precious things. You did not plan it. You are not thinking it. But you don't have walls. You don't have boundaries. Anything goes for you. Anything goes for you. You are discipling people, and 90% of the people you are discipling are ladies inside your room. Nobody to hold you people accountable. As a pastor, a sister, you know that is already having intentions, is sleeping over in your house, and you say nothing will happen, nothing will happen, nothing will happen. You are a careless man. You are a man that heard that armed robbers is coming to his house, and by 9 p.m. he opened every door for them. You heard that armed robbers are around. By 9 in the night, you open the door for them. And you are hoping that nothing will happen. If I add foolishness, because, are you getting what I'm saying? A man without boundaries is a man that left his house in the night and is calling for thieves. And I need you to know that even if a thief doesn't want to steal, there are thieves, they don't want to steal. Well, if they are passing and your phone is carelessly kept, they will collect it. They didn't plan to steal that day. The only problem is that you carelessly kept your holiness, your walk with God, your purity, your growth in God, the advancement, the progress that you have made, you kept it outside, and the thief stole it. You come back again and start walking from the ground. Start building, start building, start building, start building, start building. When you build up to a height, you now went back to the nightclub and start working. They said you will not walk inside. You will just be counting the money. And as you are there counting the money, you will see all manner of naked beasts walking in. You think that those people are guys and ladies, that they are dressed. Many of those people are not human beings. You don't guard your wall. Any guy that says anything, you carelessly fall in love. You are a foolish person. You are just distributing your emotions everywhere. You don't have boundaries. Your emotions are precious. It needs to be guarded. As a lady, only one person has to benefit from your emotions. Emotions are intangible investment. The reason why I survived to this point is that it seemed as if I locked my heart. I did not. It's not as if we don't have emotions. We vowed that we can only invest that emotion on one person. Because it is hard to retrieve your emotions after you have invested it. Even when that person violates you, you can't do anything. You have already invested. Are you with me? It is hard to recover it. That means your boundaries are down and you don't know how to protect the precious things of your destiny. You'll be wondering how virtues are leaving you. The virtues that should be the building blocks and the fortifications of your inner man, they have left. They have left because you don't know how to guide your emotions. Anybody that say hello, you follow the person in your heart for long, and then you come back 2 weeks later, you are a careless person. Go back to the drawing board. These are basics. You are praying and fasting. This is not the answer. You have to know how to build walls, boundaries, and discipline. Everything is not prayer. Everything is not the spirit overshadow me to pray. No, there is a discipline of everything. There is a discipline including of prayer. There is a discipline of living holy. There is a boundary of living holy. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yeah, there is a boundary. Don't invest your emotion anywhere. I don't even want to speak about the fact that there are certain people that actually go ahead and commit the act of sin, especially if it is fornication. I don't want to make you feel bad. There are people you sleep with, you will never recover your life. I was listening to a message, I think is by the general overseer of Mountain of Fire and all that. There was a time I packed some of his clip. They are 6 to 10 minutes. I forgot who gave me about 40 to 50 of them. I was following them through the night for many days. The instruction of as I was doing it, I think one of those days I've listened to one. He said that a guy wanted to sleep with a lady. I've forgotten what happened. I think it's in a deliverance session. When they prayed and the deliverance started, suddenly the guy held his private part. When they went to check what is there, it was the head of a snake. Foolish lady like you carried your precious pearl, destiny, calling, ministry. After growing for 7 years under good tutelage, because of one day of carelessness without boundary, you submit yourself to that kind of thing. And the guy, snake, sleeps with you. You struggle for the rest of, no matter, I don't want to go there. There are things you better don't experience. Don't experience it and go for deliverance and they say they have delivered you. My people used to say, once a man is mad, he's always mad. Even when you deliver him, you can't deliver him from muttering. You can deliver him from, you are not getting the point. When he will still be speaking to himself small. You better not experience it. The trauma and the impact on your spiritual life might not be fully recovered. That is if you try to recover it. Build your walls. Don't stoop down for anything. Don't fall down. Anybody, your emotion, go. You'll be dragging it. It will refuse to come back. You don't have walls. You don't have discipline. This sound is off. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. You don't have walls. You need to ask God, where do I need to fortify myself? Where are my gates open? Where are my walls weak? This is what I'm telling you. When I teach people, especially on the matter of addiction, masturbation and all that, I have 4 key points I always ask them. I have 4 steps to deliverance and helping them. First thing I do is that I do what I call diagnosis. Because it is not just enough to come and say, are you suffering masturbation? We gather all of them and conduct deliverance on them. That's good, but that's lazy. The reason why it's lazy is because that's not how you don't solve everybody's problem that same way. Even if the both of them are masturbation. If somebody has been in masturbation for 7 years, it's not the same with the guy of 6 months. It's not the same. You can cast out the spirit, but there is a house that lifestyle has built in the person of the 7 years. It's not just that he built a house. The walls that is within you, let me tell you, as a human being, especially if you are born again, there are natural walls. There are walls that God builds up on your inner man. That is called that when we say be strengthened with might, what is being strengthened? It is that internal walls that are being strengthened. Are you getting the point? And it gives you the capacity to resist and say no. So what people easily fall for, you notice that when your walls are fortified more, even the things you used to fall for, you notice that you don't fall for them again. It means that your walls are now what? Fortified. Are you following me? The higher you expose yourself to that fortification ministry, the higher you become resistant to the attempt of Satan to boggle your walls and enter inside. Are you following me? Now, if a man becomes involved in addiction for long period, Satan is no more in. Now, let me tell you, there are 3 levels in addiction. The first level is where Satan invades you. After Satan has invaded you, the next thing he's trying to do, let's assume it's an oppression of a demonic spirit. The next thing he does is that he begins to break down your wall. There is a wall you used to have. He begins to break it down. Let me show you what it means that your wall is going down. After you have cried and said you will not do this thing, when a guy calls you on the phone, you go back. As soon as you finish, you start crying again. Tomorrow you go back. Do you know why you are doing it? Your walls are down and capacity to say no has gone. People don't say no or yes because they want to. There is something inside that responds. When your walls are strong, when they tell you, you even become angry that somebody has the right to come and say this kind of thing to you. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, going beyond your walls, going down, there are people that their walls have gone down entirely. But beyond that, there is another layer. And that layer is when Satan sets up his own building. Now, when people bring their issues, you need to trace where they are. Are you getting what I'm saying? That's why the first thing I do is diagnosis. I need to find out in these 3 layers, where is this person now? Because, many of you, I send people's number to you. You need to know how to handle all of them. Where is this person? Is this person at the first place? Is he in the second? If he's in the first, when you cast out the spirit, tell the person do 1 or 2 things, it will be over. But once the person enters the second one, after praying for the person, you have to supervise the person, bombard the person with the word, with prayer, with fasting. Not to cast out a demon, but to build back the wall inside. And in this scenario, sometimes after 3 months, the person might fall back again because the walls they are building has not been finished yet. So there are still holes in it that Satan can enter through by a careless event. Are you getting it? The person can become careless, and doesn't mean that a progress have not been made. Return the person back. Send away the spirit again and tell the person, finish your building. Be fast and finish your building. So many times when you come to Revival Hub, what God is doing is not just to cast out or deliver you, is to build you. Your building is weak. You are weak. You are defenseless. Sometimes your emotion will carry you and go where you don't know. Is that. Now, there is a third. According to the scripture, I'm trying to remember the place. The demon that was cast out, and the demon came back and said, let me go and check my house. And I began to ask, how can a demon, he has been chased out, he is saying that his house is still there. Now, listen. He is not there. You are not with me. The demon itself is no more there. But he said that my house is there. So the demon knows that even when he leaves and his house is still there, you will still come for it. You have not seen it. There are some guys, there are some people that are in a relationship and they beat the girl. Beat her, blood, and the girl will leave. Say, leave her, she will come back. She will come back to beating again. They are sure that they will come back. Why? According to those demon spirits, they have already gone beyond bringing down your walls to building their own houses. Now, when you meet that kind of people, those people are now hosts. It's 3 levels. So when the person becomes host, it is not just that he needs help. That kind of person in our midst can infest us with the same spirit he's carrying. Because the spirits are no more trying to bring the person down. The spirits are now hosted. Are you getting where I'm going? The person is now a host. So you have a lot of work in that category. So when people bring such, design where they are. If it's bitterness, envy, jealousy, discern where the person is. There are people that are already on the boundaries of witchcraft. So advice cannot help the person. Advice cannot help the person. Praying with the person, telling the person to do retreat cannot help the person. What, as I will show, that's my last point here. That's my last. What the person needs is an encounter. If God doesn't encounter the person, he will be lost. There are levels of sinful lifestyle that what can save that person is not a preaching, is not a message. The person needs to cry for an encounter. That's the last thing I will mention for you. I will go. No message, no counsel, no fasting, no prayer. It takes an encounter. If it's on the matter of purity, you have to encounter the blazing holiness. The coals, it will have to burn on when, oh Jesus, I will get to encounter. When you have that kind of encounter, it will seem as if you died. You woke up, something in you will be taken away. You know that something, you died, there another person woke up. Cry for it. There is a man in our church those days. He used to drink alcohol a lot. Even when he got born again, the demon left, but the house was still there. So sometimes he want to go back. One day after an encounter with God, he went back to drink. He said he picked up alcohol. He smelled like rotten feces. That is an encounter. That means there is something God has woven in an encounter that cannot allow you to go back, even if you want to go back. I can't go back again. I've come too far. I've come too far. Sometimes when you pursue God, the hunger and the way you pursue God is an insurance package that you can't fall back. Brothers and sisters, there is a way you pursue God, you can't go back again. The reason why some people backslide and do that is because they are pursuing God and reserving some part of their life. Satan can hold that part and use it to manipulate the rest. There is a way you pursue God. Pursue God. Even in your weakest moment, you can't fall. I'm telling you, the real proof of your strength is how you are able to still carry on even when you are weak. That's how to know strong men. When you know that this person should be down and out, yet at that point, he thunders and rises from there. How can Jesus rise from Gethsemane and go and die? Help me, Jesus. The Bible said that Elijah is a man of like passions. Do you know what it means? It means that Elijah was hungry. The things that happened to you happened to him. But he rose from the embers. From the dungeons of mortality and rose into life. When he entered life, life galvanized and rejuvenated him, brought him to realms that is beyond mortality, and the immortal dimensions of God began to find expression. For 40 days a man journeyed into the mountains. He is no more a man. And the Bible came and said Elijah is a man. Stop giving excuse. They will flog you when you get to heaven. Especially now that you have heard me. If you used to say, now that you have heard me, if you shall get. Say after me, boundaries, disciplines. Let me read one more scripture here. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. On the hill there is a cross. On the cross there is blood for me. For me. I know it like I know my name. On the hill there is a cross. On the cross there is blood for me. For me. On the hill there is a cross. On the cross. The message of the cross is what can deliver us. Even though I have not called it a name, this teaching is the message of the cross. One side slays you, one side raises you. One side of the cross, what? Slays you. The other side, what? Raises you. And you need both sides. Look at this scripture. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about, read this a little, bro. With so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth easily beset us. And let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured what? The cross. Despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Next verse. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your mind. Are you hearing? I don't have time to explain this. He said, when you think your own is too hard, consider Jesus. When you consider what Jesus passed through, you will become more humble. You become more considerate. You become more you become more correct in your analysis of your situation. It can't be as worse as what Jesus passed through. You know why he called it contradiction? He did not deserve to suffer, yet he suffered more than anybody that deserved it. Next verse. He have not yet resisted. Let's read this verse together. 1, 2, ready, go. What? This is one of the scriptures that made me to start fighting. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood. What? Striving against it. So if a man really wants to fight against sin, there is what is called resisting sin to the point of blood, unto blood. Look at it. Fight unto blood. He didn't say you are not resisting. He said you don't know the resistance unto blood. He gave you the context of this resistance. He said striving against sin. Any small thing. I've tried more, body no be firewood. Body no be firewood. Fight, Josiah, fight.